Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm your girl Destiny. If you have not done so already, please subscribe to my channel. That way that you get automatic notifications whenever I post new content, such as Storytime. So you guys, we're not going to waste any time. We're going to jump right into it. We are on part 3. So if you have missed the previous episodes of the series, please revert back to the other videos, okay? But I'll give you a quick little recap. So part 1, we were discussing the backstory of me and X. You know, I gave you guys a good idea of our relationship prior to, before it started to get bad, I guess you could say. And then I also, gave a little insight on when I first kind of got some indication that things were going on. And then in part 2, I discussed, the day that myself was talking to me and I just happened to go home from work and come home to the girl in my house. So if you have not watched those videos yet, please pause this video, go back to the other videos so you can catch up, because I don't want you to miss any details. I want you to understand the story completely, like I said before, in 21-year-old Destiny's shoes. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into it. So today we are pretty much going to discuss me finding out and how I found out. So bear with me. I gotta give you guys a good, idea of what was going on at that time, okay? So we left off in about April, okay? So we're gonna fast forward to July 1st. We went on a trip to Disney World. We had a friend that worked out in Disney, who gave us tickets to go to Disney. So, we flew out to Orlando, and y'all, I was like the happiest person ever, let me tell you, because like I said before, we didn't grow up with a lot of money. There was a lot of us. I have a lot of siblings, 6 brothers, 2 sisters. Not everyone lived in the same household, but the majority of us did. And it was hard. It would have been hard to send all of us to Disney. It was hard in even just feeding us half the time. Let me go ahead and throw that out there. But so I didn't really get to experience that. That was always one of the things I wrote down. Like when people would be like, where is a place that you would love to go? I always wrote Disney. Like I remember when we were learning about MapQuest in school and we had to put together a trip, it was always Disney, okay? So anyway, we were going to Orlando. This is the day that we were leaving. And we had stopped by X's dad's house because he was going to take us to the airport. And whenever we got there, we're all sitting in the kitchen talking. And I noticed that there was a hickey on X's neck. So I'm just sitting here like, I felt like Urkel, y'all. Like, did I do that? Like, did I do that? Like, I couldn't remember. Like, I don't remember doing that. I ain't never been a huge hickey giver. You know what I'm saying? So I was like trying to figure out. I think that was me, okay? It wasn't me. But I ended up confronting him about it, like, before the trip. Like, we didn't waste no time. Who gave you the hickey on your neck? And he's like, what you talking about? You gave me the hickey. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, I don't remember giving you that hickey, but okay. Okay. So the whole time we're in the car, on the plane, at the hotel, like the very beginning of the trip, I'm just staring at this hickey like, did I put that hickey on his? I don't think I put the hickey on his neck. Okay. But once we, it was the night before it was time to go to Disney, I kind of just let it go over my head. Like, I think it was just like I don't want to ruin my trip. I'll figure this out later. It sounds crazy, but that's what I did. Okay. So, fast forward, throughout the trip, his vibe was off. It was so off. It was weird. Like it just was. So we come home from the trip and this is in July, mind you. Okay. In September of 2016, I interviewed to become a general manager. It was a very, very, very exciting time, you guys. Like, I was in my 20s. I'm still very young. Like, I felt like everything that I had did and worked so hard for was being acknowledged and it was paying off, you know. So I was so stoked. And I did my interview, and my interview went great. And my boss set me up to go to training in Chicago for general managers in October, okay? So happiest time ever. Like, I'm super excited, okay? So I went to Chicago in October, and before I left for Chicago, you know, X was really quiet. He's a quiet guy anyway, but he was super quiet this, like, the week leading up to, you know, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna miss you. You know, I'm already kind of like, you know, I'm about to be away from him for a week. You know, our trust issues are, you know, kind of iffy because, mind you, we had that issue in April. We were broken up, I'd say, for about 3 weeks, but we got back together and decided we were gonna work on trust and all that, you know, stuff. Okay, so, but I'm still kind of, you know, okay. So I went on the trip, and y'all, I had a ball. I met some amazing people that I hope are watching this video now. Shout out to my HU team. Like, we had so much fun going to the Navy Pier, y'all, like walking down the strip. We had so much fun. They just dropped us downtown Chicago, and we were just walking, just going everywhere all night, and we had such a good time. I learned so much. I met people from all across the world, really, and it was a really good time. But that slowly, you know, that exciting moment came to a halt, because as I was out there, you know, I wasn't really hearing from him too much. He was very short with me, you know, so I knew something wasn't right. I got back from the trip to Chicago, and when we got back from Chicago in October, if you grew up in New Albany, you know that's Harvest Homecoming. That's when everybody, you know, from in New Albany, that went to New Albany, or even Jeff, areas around here, it's like a reunion kind of. You see all your friends you went to school with, you eat good, and the food is amazing, y'all. Them donuts, that pork chop sandwich, hits every time. So we were gonna go to Harvest Homecoming. I was so excited. But once again, he was very weird, you know? So after we went to Harvest, you know, we went to bed that night, like nothing ever happened. The very next day, you know, it was an odd day, but, you know, things have been odd lately anyway, so I guess I didn't pay too much attention to it. But that night, he pulled me to the side and was like, hey, we need to talk. Now, at that time, my little brother was staying with me. He was home from school, and we didn't really get to have a chance to, like, have private conversations at that time. So we went out to his car to go have this conversation, because he was like, this is a very serious conversation. So we get to the car, and I'm like, what's wrong? What's up? And he starts cracking his voice. He got a real deep voice. Okay, X's voice is deep, and it's like, I don't really know how to say this. Like, and I'm just like, just say it. Like, I don't know. Like, you know, like, you scaring me. Like, and then he kind of got quiet for a while, and then, you know, I instantly, don't tell me seeing that girl again. Like, you know, just very snap. And he's just like, stop, like, you know. And he's like, there's no easy way to say this, but before you left, you know, she told me she was pregnant, and she took a couple tests, but we didn't know for sure, so she ended up going to the doctor, and now we know she's pregnant. Now, mind you, I'm like, really? Like, you know? And I'm like, let me get this straight. So you already felt like, or y'all had some type of indication thinking that she was pregnant prior to me leaving for Chicago, okay? He confirmed it while I was out in Chicago. That was the time, you know, he found out, you know, went to the doctor with the girl and everything, like, you know, and you waited until, you know, we had already been home for a day, you know, to tell me this. And I guess I can somewhat understand it. he was just like, I was so happy and excited, you know, from that experience and all that, and he didn't want to ruin that. But you was gonna ruin my day, week, life, year, whatever, regardless, okay? To where it's like, don't, that wasn't cool to me, you know. I can, to a certain extent, see what he was trying to do, but I wasn't feeling it. Y'all, hold on, excuse me real quick. Gotta get these lips together, okay? Okay, so, so I'm just like, okay, really? And he's crying, okay? He's not like a softie at all, he's crying. And I'm crying because I'm like, how could you? Like, how dare you? Like, this has still been going on. Like, I knew something was going on. Like, you know, really, after 5 years of being together, almost 6 years at the time. But, just distraught. And he really ain't saying much anymore after that. So, I end up storming out the car at some point and going upstairs. And, you know, when I tell y'all, I was like up here, like I was so happy about Chicago, my interview, I'm about to get promoted, you know, and that just brought me all the way down. Like, I felt so low. Like, I don't think y'all can even fathom the hurt that I was feeling. Like, I feel like I cried every tear out that I could that night. It might be why I ain't no cry for real. I think I cried all my tears out that day. You know what I'm saying? Like, whew, like, ugh. But anyway, ooh, the fuck? So, it was a very, very sad night. And he didn't leave that night. I wanted him to leave so bad, but he didn't leave. Like, you know, he did try to, you know, hold me, comfort me, make me feel better, but nothing anybody could do or say that night that was gonna make me feel better. Like, I just felt like that's like one of the worst things you can do. You know, it's already bad enough to cheat, okay? But, you know, the two worst things you can do is like if somebody STD or, you know, have a baby with someone else while you with someone, like, you know. And I was hurt, like very hurt. So, and I'm thinking that we're working on things, but, you know, and I'm not gonna lie and say that the signs weren't there, because I'd be lying to you. You know, I felt like at that time, I felt like we were arguing a lot. You know, he was storming out a lot. He would always find some type of excuse as to why he should be able to stay out all night, you know, or, you know, he should be able to go to his dad's house and stay the night sometime because we're together every day. Sometimes we need to miss each other. You know, he used to hit me with them kind of lines, and I'm just like, you know what, you might be right. Like, you know, I go stay with my little friends sometimes, and it's just like, wow, you know. So, it was very, very, very hurtful. Like, I couldn't believe it. And my next thing was to decide, okay, so what next? So we most definitely broke up after finding out that news. He, you know, left, went to go stay with his dad, and which made me uncomfortable as well, because his dad lived in the same city that the girl lived in. And you would think that I'm not thinking about that, but I was. Like, I still was like, oh, you better not be going to see that girl. Like, you better not be going to see her, you know? And I was thinking that. Of course I was. So that was frustrating. But we were broken up for at that time. So it happened. He found out she was pregnant in October. We still communicated. You know, the holidays were coming up, and that's another thing. The holidays were big for us. We would always go all out for Christmas. You know, I'm such a Christmas girl. I'm a holiday person. Like, I love the holidays. And I'm like, dang, I gotta spend this is my first Christmas or whatever without him, because it's 2016. So we got together in 2011. So my previous 5 years, Christmases I've always been with him. So that was bothering me and affecting me, which was making me very like, and then there's that, well, is it even yours? Like, people always, it's even your baby. Like, he knew it was his. But so I used that time to, I was going to the gym consistently, like heavy. I was going all the time. And when I tell y'all that breakup weight that you lose is the best. Like, I lost like 30 pounds. Now that's because I couldn't eat. I was sad, depressed. I was going to the gym almost every day. And then on top of that, I was starting to see, like, I had a little friend at the gym that I was dealing with, because let me tell you, at that time, all I was thinking, I'm going to get my lick back. That's wrong, but that's what I was thinking. So I was like, I'm about to get this body right, about to get this skin glowing, and I'm going to get my lick back. Okay? But, so fast forward to about January, X starts to, hit me up consistently and, try to spend time with me, and when you start being distant to somebody is when they always start trying more. Now, I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't entertaining it. I'm not going to sit here and act like I wasn't kind of hoping for some type of resolve, because I would be lying. But, January came and he started acting different. So I ended up finding out that the girl lost the baby. She was having some issues and she ended up losing the baby. Now, let me say something real quick, just in case, she's watching, her friends are watching, whoever, somebody watching, and they want to think that it's insensitive for me to mention that or something. I don't care. Like, like, once again, this is part of the story, so I'm going to tell it. I ain't dropping no names or anything, but that played a role into why we ended up rekindling. So she lost the baby, and he didn't tell me. I ended up having to find out, and then I put two and two together, like, oh, that's why. Okay, so she ended up losing the baby, and we started kind of hanging around our friend group more. We weren't officially together, but we were kicking it. My birthday's coming up. My birthday is February 14th, Valentine's Day. Y'all will not hear the end of it. People that know me, once again, my birthday it's like an all month affair, but my birthday's coming up, so I'm just and his birthday's in February, so it was I feel like he was trying to make sure we rekindle things by then. I could be wrong. That's my perspective. But anyway, so we were kicking it, and we ended up getting back together right before my birthday. I don't know how to explain how I got over it and got past the fact that he did that to me. But what I will say is I knew for sure if she had the baby, there wouldn't have been a chance now, because that would be a constant reminder of the infidelity, the fact that he cheated, like, of hurt. And I didn't want to deal with that or her. I will also say that, and to me, I felt like, I'm a firm believer in everything happens for a reason. That might sound bad, but that's how I was thinking. Dang, my puff all in the way of the D. But, so, I don't know. I was just like, well, maybe this is a sign for us to, maybe this is our, we can try to fix things, And I genuinely felt like he was going to fix things and change, because that was a very big deal, a big thing to happen. So I thought that, you know, he would get some, that they gave him some act right. But this is not the final part. So clearly it did not. Now, we're gonna end it there. So everybody, stay with me. There is still more to this story. There's still more to come. So everybody, please remember to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, to this video, all that good stuff. Stop what you're doing right now. If you enjoyed this video, please press that thumbs up, like button down below. And thank you for continuing to support me. I will continue to give you guys good content. Stay tuned for part 4, because it's going to be great. I will have 2 guest appearances here for part 4, because I'll give y'all a little hint. We end up pulling up after, you know, after the baby months, a little bit time had passed, after the baby was gone, there was more drama to come. And there were 2 guest appearances that are 2 very important people in my life, and we end up having to pull up on her and some people, y'all. So please, 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 please stay tuned, because it's gonna get good. You know, hopefully I already think it's good, but it's gonna get good, guys. I have plenty of stories to tell, because listen, I told y'all it was 9 years. It was a lot of mess. Okay. So thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, bye.